They thought they buried you. That's how this story begins. Not with triumph, not with applause, not with a sunrise, but with darkness so complete it swallowed your name, your hope, your breath. They threw you into a pit and called it your ending. They closed the door and walked away, convinced the silence behind them was your surrender. They didn't see the flicker inside you, small, fragile, but alive. They thought you were done, but they were wrong, because your comeback is their nightmare. Listen closely. This is not just a speech. This is not just narration. This is the echo of a storm that has been building inside you for years. There was a moment, you remember it, when life tightened its grip around your throat, when everything you trusted slipped through your fingers, when every voice around you whispered, "Give up, this is where you fall." They thought they broke you, they thought they drained you, they thought the weight would crush you, but they miscalculated one thing, you, because you weren't built to collapse, you were built to resurrect. They expected you to stay down, they expected the betrayal to freeze you, they expected the heartbreak to mute you, they expected the loneliness to erase you, they expected the pressure to suffocate you. They thought you'd crumble quietly, disappear without a ripple, accept a life smaller than your dreams, smaller than your worth. But reality was different. Reality was the sound of your heartbeat refusing to quit. Reality was the whisper inside your soul saying, "Not yet, not here, not like this." Reality was you discovering strength in the ruins, finding clarity in the chaos, seeing truth in the silence. Because when they closed the door, they forgot something powerful. You don't need a door to walk through destiny. You can build one, you can break one, you can burn the whole damn structure down and rise from the ashes. There is a version of you they've never seen, a version even you didn't know existed. That version was born in the nights when you cried quietly, so no one would hear. In the days you forced yourself to move despite the weight in your chest. In the moments you questioned your worth, your purpose, your future. You weren't weak in those moments. You were transforming. But transformation doesn't look pretty. It looks like tearing. It looks like breaking. It looks like being stripped of every comfort you once clung to. You walked through fire, and not because you wanted to burn. You walked through fire because something inside you chose to evolve. Every scar became a lesson. Every disappointment became a teacher. Every loss became a mirror, and the mirror showed you a truth. You are built of storms, not glass. You are made of fight, not fragility. You are shaped by resilience, not ruin. And slowly, quietly, you began to rise, not with noise, not with applause, not with validation. You rose with focus. You rose with clarity. You rose with a fire in your eyes they didn't recognize. You stopped chasing people. You stopped begging for love. You stopped explaining your worth. You learned to stand alone, and that scared them, because nothing terrifies the world more than someone who no longer needs it. Then something happened, something subtle but seismic. They started to notice. They saw the shift, saw the glow returning to your face, saw the silence turning into power, saw the wounds becoming wisdom. They thought you were broken, but suddenly, you weren't. Suddenly, the person they tried to bury was walking, slowly, steadily, fiercely. And now they don't know what to do with you. They thought guilt would control you. They thought fear would stop you. They thought doubt would choke you. But instead, you became unshakable, untouchable, unrecognizable. You became someone who doesn't cling, you release. Someone who doesn't beg, you build. Someone who doesn't chase, you attract. And the most terrifying thing for them, you evolved without them. Did they really think you'd stay broken? Did they really believe you'd surrender your destiny to their doubt? Did they honestly think that betrayal would bury your brilliance? They didn't expect your comeback? They didn't expect your strength? They didn't expect you to rewrite the story. But you did, and that's when the panic set in. You didn't just rise, you rebuilt, piece by piece, step by step, breath by breath. Your comeback wasn't explosive at first. It was quiet. It was internal. It was the rebuilding of your spirit from the ground up. And eventually, you placed a crown on your own head, a crown made of resilience, discipline, and self-respect. A crown they can't touch. a crown they can't steal, a crown they never believed you'd earn, because you didn't wait to be chosen, you chose yourself. You became fire, not the kind that warms, the kind that burns through excuses, fear, and limitations. Every goal you pursue now, every boundary you enforce, every step you take toward your future, reminds them that they no longer have access to you. Your glow doesn't come from validation. Your energy doesn't come from approval. Your confidence doesn't come from compliments. You generate your own power. You create your own momentum. You control your own narrative, and they hate it, because once upon a time they fed on your insecurities. Now they starve in your absence. You used to fear the storm. Now you are the storm. You move differently, talk differently, think differently, not out of arrogance, but alignment. You learned that peace is the sharpest weapon. Indifference is the strongest shield. Self-mastery is the ultimate revenge. And now you embody a truth they never wanted you to discover. You don't need them. You never did. This is the moment you step fully into the version of yourself you were always meant to be. Not the insecure version, not the wounded version, not the silenced version, but the unstoppable version, the one who survived the fall, the one who rose through fire, the one who built a throne from broken pieces. You stand taller now, not because life got easier, but because you got wiser. You speak with purpose, not to impress, but to express your truth. You choose with intention, not from fear, but from self-respect. And while you rise, they watch. They watch with regret, with envy, with disbelief. They watch because they never thought you would be the one who got away, the one who healed, the one who transformed. They never imagined that your comeback would echo louder than their betrayal. But here you are, rising anyway, thriving anyway, winning anyway. Your existence is the plot twist. Your success is the revenge. Your transformation is their nightmare. And now, silence. Not the silence of defeat, the silence of mastery. Your story no longer belongs to the pain. It belongs to the purpose. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You don't need to explain your growth. You don't need to justify your journey. You simply live it, boldly, unapologetically, fully. Because your comeback isn't just about proving them wrong, it's about proving yourself right. So when they whisper about you, when they wonder how you did it, when they replay the memories of who you used to be, let them. You are not returning to the old chapter. You are not shrinking to fit their comfort. You are not dimming for their insecurity. You are walking forward, head high, soul glowing, destiny calling. Your comeback is their nightmare, but it is your liberation. And this is only the beginning. But listen, your story doesn't end at victory. Victory is only the doorway, not the destination. Because the truth is, your comeback isn't just their nightmare today. It will haunt them for years. Why? Because they didn't just underestimate you. They misread you. They thought your silence was weakness. They thought your patience was fear. They thought your kindness was dependence. They never saw the steel running through your spirit. And now, every step you take forward, every choice you make for yourself, every boundary you draw with confidence reminds them of one brutal truth. You became someone they can't reach anymore. Not emotionally, not mentally, not spiritually. You outgrew the room they tried to confine you in. Before the glow, before the strength, before the unshakable resilience, there was a war inside you. A war against your doubts, a war against your fears, a war against the version of you that wanted to quit. They didn't see the nights you wiped your own tears. They didn't witness the mornings you forced yourself to rise. They didn't feel the weight of the world pressing against your chest. They only saw the surface, and even that scared them. Because if you looked strong while breaking, what would you look like once you healed? Now they know. Now they see the fire in your eyes, a fire that no betrayal could extinguish. There comes a moment in every warrior's journey when they stop fearing the loss and start valuing the self. You reached that moment. You realized something monumental. Losing them didn't break you. It freed you. Freed you from expectations. Freed you from manipulation. Freed you from the weight of proving yourself to people who never deserved you. You stopped chasing apologies that were never coming. You stopped waiting for closure that wasn't needed. You stopped explaining your heart to people who were committed to misunderstanding it. This liberation, this silence, this emotional sovereignty, it's the most powerful version of you the world has ever seen, and it terrifies them, because now you don't cling, you choose, you don't react, you observe, you don't beg, you align. You have become a mountain, steady, immovable, majestic, and mountains don't chase storms. Storms crash against them and shatter. Their power over you never came from strength. It came from access to your emotions, access to your insecurities, access to your kindness. But now, that access is gone. You no longer let everyone into your heart. You no longer explain your worth. You no longer shrink to be accepted. And that loss, that severing of control, is what keeps them awake at night. They replay the memories. They relive their choices. They rewrite the past in their minds, thinking, maybe I should have treated them better. Maybe I should have stayed. Maybe I didn't know their value until they left. But maybe can't undo damage. Maybe can't rewind time. Maybe can't earn back a place in your life. Your comeback closed the door permanently. You don't move with desperation anymore. You move with direction. You don't speak to be heard. You speak to be understood. You don't love from emptiness. You love from overflow. Your energy is grounded. Your presence is commanding. Your aura is untouchable. You walk differently now, like someone who has survived storms and learned to dance in the rain. You breathe differently, like someone who knows peace is a superpower. You shine differently, not because life is perfect, but because you are aligned with who you were always meant to be. And here's the truth no one speaks about. Healing makes you powerful. Growth makes you magnetic. Self-respect makes you unstoppable. Your comeback didn't require applause. It didn't require attention. It didn't require validation. It required courage. And courage changes destinies. You rewrote your identity piece by piece. You rebuilt your foundation brick by brick. You reclaimed your worth breath by breath. You survived the fall, and in doing so, you became invincible. Now, your presence carries weight. Your silence carries truth. Your confidence carries history. And every time they think about you, every time they remember how you rose, every time they watch you thrive without them, they realize your comeback is not just their nightmare. It is their karma. Your freedom is their reminder. Your rise is their consequence. But for you, it is your rebirth, your evolution, your destiny unfolding. And this journey, your journey, is far from over.